Hello there, and welcome. Ever looked up at the stars and wondered what lies beyond what we can see? Not just further out in space, but beyond our very own reality. Today, we're going on an incredible journey to explore a concept that has fascinated scientists and thinkers for centuries. The fourth dimension. So, what is the fourth dimension? Most of us are familiar with the three dimensions that define our world. There's length, width, and height. You can think of them as the X, Y, and Z axes. Anything you can touch, from the chair you're sitting on to the phone in your hand, exists within these three dimensions. But what if there's another direction, an invisible axis that we can't directly perceive? Often, when people talk about the fourth dimension, they're referring to time. This idea was popularized by Albert Einstein's theory of relativity. He proposed that space and time are not separate things but are woven together into a single, four-dimensional fabric called spacetime. Imagine a flat grid, like a trampoline. That's our 2D space. Now, put a heavy ball in the middle. See how it curves the grid. That's what massive objects like planets and stars do to spacetime. Gravity isn't a force pulling things down. It's the curvature of spacetime itself. So, as we move through our three spatial dimensions, we are also constantly moving forward through the fourth dimension, time. Every moment that passes is another step along this temporal axis. But what if the fourth dimension isn't just time? What if it's another spatial dimension, just like length, width, and height? This is where things get truly mind-bending. Let's build up to it. A point has 0 dimensions. Move that point, and you create a line 1 dimension. Move that line perpendicular to itself, and you get a square 2 dimensions. Now, move that square perpendicular to itself, and you have a cube or familiar 3 dimensions. So, what happens if we move a cube in a direction perpendicular to all three of its axes? We get something called a hypercube or a tesseract. Trying to visualize a tesseract is tricky for our three-dimensional brains. It's like a 2D being trying to understand a 3D cube. They could only see its shadow, a flat shape that changes as the cube rotates. Similarly, what we see of a tesseract is just its 3D shadow. It looks like a cube within a cube, with all the corners connected, constantly shifting and folding in ways that seem impossible. This is because we're only seeing a projection of a higher dimensional object into our limited space. So, where could this fourth spatial dimension be? Some theories, like string theory, suggest that there could be extra dimensions all around us, but they are curled up so tightly, on such a microscopic scale, that we can't detect them. Imagine a garden hose. From far away, it looks like a one-dimensional line. But get closer, and you'll see it has a second dimension, its circumference. These extra dimensions could be like that, existing at a scale too small for us to experience. Another fascinating idea is that our entire three-dimensional universe could be just a slice, or a brain, floating within a higher dimensional space, sometimes called the bulk. Think of a loaf of bread. Each slice is a 2D surface, but the entire loaf is 3D. Our universe could be like a single slice in a 4D loaf. This idea could explain some of the biggest mysteries in physics, like why gravity is so much weaker than other forces. Perhaps gravity is the only force that can leak across these dimensions. While we can't physically step into the fourth dimension, exploring it with our minds opens up a universe of possibilities. It challenges our perception of reality and reminds us that there is so much more to the cosmos than meets the eye. The universe is vast, mysterious, and full of wonder. Who knows what other secrets are waiting just beyond the limits of our perception? Thank you for joining me on this journey. Keep looking up and keep questioning. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more adventures into the unknown. See you next time.